KIYRA LYNN with Hollywood First Look Features, and right now I'm here at the 24th Annual Critics' Choice Awards. Let's take a first look. Crazy Rich Asians, man!
Hey, CRA!
Oh my gosh, it's like the little engine that could.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it keeps going.
The movie is just gorgeous to look at.
It's hilarious. Everybody thinks we shot it, all in Singapore. And actually, we shot the majority of the movie in Kuala Lumpur. We shot in 8 cities, in 2 countries, 86 sets and locations in only 43 shooting days. So what you think is the mansion is actually a combination of 6 different elements and a VFX flyover that doesn't even exist.
But also, they assume that you find an already furnished, beautifully styled interior, when in fact the mansion was abandoned, and we had to bring everything
not the same
into
as
it.
the inside.
So these are empty rooms, some of them in really bad condition, that we had to bring back to life, and then some.
Prison don't do nothing but make you a worse person. You want to change, you got to do it by yourself.
I didn't make it down the pole, the statement would still be made.
It's a movement, and it's not going to stop.
Well, a young costume designer reached out just last week and told me that as a result of, he actually had been a part of helping us make the play of it. He adopted a 19-year-old immigrant kid who only got as far in school from Guatemala as first grade. And he's really, giving that kid the courage to be back in school at 19 years old. He's legal guardian of that kid. So, and we have lots of stories like that, but that's the freshest one in my mind right now.
When we screened the film in Chicago, George Lucas happened to be in the audience. And when I stood up and I started to walk out of he came over to me and he extended his hand and he said, "Congratulations, what an incredible film." And what he said was that the theater piece was one thing, and somehow or other we had managed in the film to encapsulate what had happened on stage, but also give it a new identity. And he shook my hand, and I felt like I had been visited by the Almighty.
Well, talk to me about that journey, from stage to film. I mean, was the end result at all, or even more, what you envisioned it would be?
Well, I think that one very important thing about the end result, which is that a lot more people will see it than will see it in the theater. And also, I stopped performing it in New York. I performed it in London in the summer, and I'll be doing it in Australia and other places in the world. But no matter how many times I perform this play, it's not going to reach the audience that it did on television. And since it's a mission-driven project to attract attention to the plight of poor kids who can't get through school and end up in jail, then the most practical thing to say, before we even talk about aesthetic differences, the most practical thing to say is that a lot more people will see it and it has a greater potential for influence. And being recognized by the Critics' Choice is no small thing.
Oh, it's a real honor. I mean, you're a tough customer, and the fact that you think that this was worthy of both Best Actress and Best Film, Best Picture, is just fabulous.
I don't know. Personally, I think if he stuck to the classic stuff, it would have been a big mistake.
A mistake? Performing the music I trained my entire life to play.
Trained? What are you, a SEAL? People love what you do. Anyone can sound like Beethoven or Joe Pan or them other guys you said, but your music, what you do, only you can do that.
Thank you, Tony. But not everyone can play Chopin. Not like I can.
Congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you so much.
How sweet is it for both of you to be here tonight to celebrate his nomination?
It's pretty fun.
It's phenomenal. I mean, he just works incredibly hard, so it's wonderful to see other people than just me recognize how wonderful of a human he is,
When you got the phone call that said that you were nominated, how did that feel for you?
Well, actually, what was funny is I found out, I was just actually online, and I was just scrolling through the list, and then I was like, wait, what? Wait. And I had to Google it again to see if it was right.
You were like, what?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
This is a very important movie in this day and age. I mean, for you to have worked on a movie that signifies so much of what's going on and with so much heart into a sport, talk to me about that process.
Yeah, I think it was what kind of drew me to the film in the first place. You know, reading that script and being able to, in 2018, now 2019, still empathize and relate to Dr. Shirley's story and his existence and the way that he experienced life as a black musician and everything, I think was pretty striking to me. And it shows that, like, you know, it's unfortunately still necessary a story to be told, but I think they do it in a way that I think is very timely, because we need to start to look at how we're common, not as much at you know, how we're different, for sure.
Mom, is Dad okay?
Of course he is. His pride got hurt. That happens sometimes.
So when you heard that you were nominated tonight, what was the first thought that ran through your head?
Well, I was just stepping out of my car and I was looking at my phone. My first thought was get off the road, probably. But it was a really weird feeling. I felt very honored. I felt very, yeah, I mean, this is my first kind of nomination from the Critics' Choice Awards and from anything kind of this level, so it was really exciting. It was exciting more than anything.
So, you know, talk to me about working with Paul and Carrie and Jake.
I mean, they're just the most incredible people. I think working with Paul as a director was incredible. He felt like he was part of the cast as well. He really felt so involved and so invested in everyone's performance, and it felt like he was a cast member, which was a weird kind of dynamic. But I mean, Jake and Carrie are just the most incredible people, and even better actors and actresses. And working with them and feeding off their energy is so lucky, and I feel like an actor can't ask for anything more. When your parents are, you know, these Academy Award nominated, it's incredible.
Your character, you know, goes through some trials and tribulations.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about, you know, honing in on that and having it resonate on the screen as it did.
Yeah, my character goes through a lot. Through the whole course of the movie, it's not easy for poor Joe. But I think it was great. I think that kind of journey and that all those things that do end up affecting him are what make it so kind of special and what make it resonate with audiences, I think. But it was you know, kind of tough to portray at times, especially because of the lack of dialogue I had. I had to rely on kind of facial expressions and different kind of techniques which I'd never used before, so it was a really new experience for me.
That new experience got you a nomination here at the Critics' Choice Award.
Yeah, I guess I'll use that technique now, so.
Thank you guys so much for watching. What were your favorites in film this year? Make sure to comment below and give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe. This is KIYRA LYNN. I'll check you next time.